Hello beautiful people of the interweb, I'm Rachel Nielsen, and today we're going to be doing episode 3 of my Literally Broken series. So I don't know if you remember, but a month ago I posted a video titled Disability Perks, where I went to an Ed Sheeran concert, and in that video I said I was going to share a story about how I met an angel, and it's been a month now and I still haven't shared that story, and since it's fitting, I'm going to include it in one of these episodes, so yeah. So I just want to clarify that by angel, I do not mean someone shining dressed in a white robe that descended down from the heavens. No, I think everyone is in your life for a reason. You will have encounters with strangers, I think, which are meant to happen, and I think this encounter that I had with a stranger was totally just God's plan and clearly him working through people to show me something. And it's just, I don't know if that makes sense, but I call it an angel because I really believe this person was sent from God to share his story with me at that time in my life when I needed it the most. Okay, so, where do I start? May 3rd, I was going to the Ed Sheeran concert, and I was really, really excited, but I was still in my wheelchair. I don't know if you've been to a concert with a disabled person, or if you are in a wheelchair and have tried to go to a concert, but it's very stressful. I know we got tickets for the disability section, but we still had to get there, and there's crowds of people at a concert, and it's really, really intimidating and scary because with my experience with my family, just even going through malls in our wheelchair, sometimes people wouldn't even care. They'd just expect us to move around them. They wouldn't move for us, or they'd bump into me and just not see me, I don't know. I just feel like people are quite ignorant and rude. So your experience might be different, but in my personal experience, it was pretty annoying. So just the idea of going to a concert where so many people are and having to wait in queues and lines and everything just stressed me out. But as I mentioned in my disability perks video, as soon as I got out of my car in the wheelchair, a security guard came up to us right away and helped us. And when we were done with the concert, so amazing by the way, when we were done, he was there. He came up to me again and stayed with me the whole time while my sister went off to say hi to some friends she bumped into, and while we were just waiting for our driver, since there was a long line of traffic because everyone was just trying to leave the venue all at once. But again, still very intimidating, and I kind of get really claustrophobic when there's so many people around me, so it really stresses me out. But anyways, I knew we were going to be waiting for a long time, so I thought I'd just try to get to know the security guard a bit to pass the time, basically. So I started out just by saying my name, how old I am. I don't know, I don't know where, this is really weird. I just started sharing with him why I was in a wheelchair. I guess that's not the best conversation starter. I think I was hi, I'm in a wheelchair because I got into a car accident. Who starts a conversation like that? I don't even know, but I just hated the awkward silence, and I wanted to distract myself from the buzzing around me, so I just blurted the first thing that came out of my mouth, which honestly was so stupid. But he was listening to me, and he asked me more about the accident. I was like, okay, that's a good thing. He's actually curious and interested, or else it would just be awkward. He was such a good listener, and as I was telling my story, he was saying oh, you must have felt this way when you were in that situation. Oh, I can imagine the pain you were feeling. Did you feel this certain feeling, or did you feel angry like this? Is it difficult every day to go to physiotherapy, and do you get those same sort of stress every time you go to the doctor's office, da-da-da? He was just bringing up certain things that I think only a person in a situation similar to mine would know about or understand. But then when I was done sharing everything and he was done asking questions, then he told me his story, and just the whole time he was talking, I was wow, God is working through this man's life to inspire me. 4 years ago, when he was 21 years old, he was in a motorcycle crash where he was on the highway. He was not speeding at all. He was just minding his own freaking business when a car who was speeding, and turns out it was a drunk driver, and it just slammed right into him and knocked him off his bike. He flew meters away, just like I did, out of the car, and ended up in a ditch, sort of how I did as well. So he could relate to me on everything, and lying there in the middle of the night, completely feeling alone, thinking people forgot about you, and the loneliness and the panic and fear. He could relate to me, and at the end of it, the guy basically just got away, and he was lying in that ditch for a while before somebody actually found him and took him to a hospital and everything. When he was taken to the hospital, he had also broken both his legs, just like I did, and that his face was actually burned, and like one of his arms was burned as well. But yeah, and so he was just describing it in like details that are much, much more like gory and scary than mine was. I don't know how to describe it. He just told his story, how like he understood me, how we don't ask for these things to happen to us, and it isn't our fault, but we just have to deal with the circumstances we are in, you know? And this guy, he had just signed a contract to fly to the Netherlands to work a job that he's been waiting to work for most of his life. He had a friend there, and he was about to travel there for the first time and start this new amazing job, his dream job, basically. He just signed the contract, and since he was in this accident, he obviously couldn't go anymore. And my first thought was, well, it's been years now, right? Can't you go back? Which, honestly, I'm so stupid for even asking that question. But he said no, because it was like I think it was sort of like a military or like type of job where basically you can't have a history of a traumatic event because it might trigger you in your workplace, if that makes sense. Which, like, obviously, like, shattered him, broke his heart, everything. Like, here he was in a hospital bed, like, independent, self-funded? I don't know. He was told that one of his legs would have to be amputated because the bone not only broke, but it was shattered. And that just reminded me again, like, how lucky I am. No, not lucky. How blessed I am that my bones broke cleanly. Just like, sorry, that's kind of graphic, but it was a clean break, which is much easier to reattach and heal rather than shattered in so many places. But he believed so strongly in his faith that he was like, no, I don't believe that amputating my leg is the right choice. No medical experience, this guy, but he just had like a feeling. He was like, I don't need to amputate my leg. I'm willing to rehabilitate as long as it takes. And the doctors were like, are you sure? It's going to take a really, really long time. And he was like, I don't have anything. I'm going to do it. Boy, he did not walk for 2 years. And here I was in my wheelchair going like, it's been 3 months, I haven't been walking for 3 months, it's really difficult, yada, 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 but I'm really excited because next month I'm going to start learning how to stand. And he's here like, boy, I didn't stand for 2 years, and I was like, oh my god. Just like so embarrassed, obviously, right? But he was so sweet about it. He wasn't like degrading me or anything like, you think you have it bad, da da da. He was just telling me his story, and just telling me his story, just like I had all these realizations before, but it was just like heightened, you know. It just made me more aware, like how incredibly blessed I am and how God really protected me from it being so much worse, you know. So a lot of the times we always ask, why does God let this happen? And we end up blaming him because we're like, why didn't God protect me from this happening? When really we should be rejoicing because God protected me from it being so much worse. You know, like, yeah, this happened to me, but it could have happened so much worse. And even for him, like, that happened, but he was still protected from it being so much worse. At the end of the day, we still were alive, and we are still so incredibly blessed to be alive. If there's one thing I want you to take from this video is that you are so blessed to be alive. Do not take your life for granted. It is so precious. You only get one. But yeah, and then after he told me his story, he continued on to just be like, stay strong, stay motivated, I know you can do this. And he was just saying all this really inspiring stuff, just like how believe in yourself to get back up, and like trust in your God to guide you to get through this, have faith, and never give up, and focus on the positives, all that. And that's something I really needed to hear, I feel like. And those are things that, like, people all around me do tell me. Like, since the accident happened, they do tell me, like, to stay positive. Or, like, just don't give up, da-da-da-da-da. Like, everything happens for a reason. People around me do say that. But as a person who went through it, you don't really believe other people when they say that if they haven't gone through something similar. And I know that's kind of silly because everyone goes through their own thing, and like those are generic phrases that apply to nearly everything. But hearing it from someone who like actually went through it, something so similar, just like I don't know, in that moment, I just had goosebumps for like 10 minutes straight because I was like, wow, like God is real. God is working through this man. Like, I needed that. At the end of the night, like, Ed Sheeran wasn't even the highlight of that night. Like, that security guard was. And now, obviously, he's working as a security guard, which, like, clearly isn't his dream job. But he told me that, like, when he's working his shifts, like if he sees a disabled person, his heart goes to them and he wants to help them. Just because he feels like he can make a difference in their life. And I just thought that was so beautiful because, like, I don't know. I was just so thankful for him, and I just... I don't even have the words to express it. It just, after that, that's when I was like, okay, like, I already make videos on my channel about my recovery and everything, but I want to take it a step further, which is why I started this series, actually, because this guy just, like, inspired me. And guys, mine's, like, I'm not even, like, permanently disabled. Like, I'm only temporarily disabled. It's literally not the end of the world. I'm such a dramatic person. I'm so emotional. Why am I like this? I think that's why this had to happen to me, so that I would get this, like, wake-up call, like, girl, you are... not everything's about you. Like, yeah, and this is really scary for me to put out there because I'm, like, being so transparent and everything about my character and stuff, so it's really scary to do this, but I just want to be honest, and if at least this can help at least one person who is similar to me and maybe even going through something similar. But yeah, don't take life for granted. You are so blessed to be alive. Comment a yellow heart emoji so that I know you watched. Oh my god, I just realized I was wearing this disgusting hoodie. Probably not fitting for this video, but yeah, comment a yellow heart emoji so that I know you watched till the end, and see you in my next video. Bye!